Hello, my dear subscribers. I'm happy to get back to you after such a big pause. I wasn't online till from November, and many of you asked me. You wrote me what happened. Would we continue? But I saw even though there was a pause, there were still new subscribers on the channel, and we were just re-estimating our strategy, our channel, how to make it more useful for people. And now I'm with you again. But I want to tell from the very beginning what I plan to change. I plan to concentrate more on coaching and more on telling about life in Ukraine and telling more about Ukrainian girls, Ukrainian culture, in addition to matchmaking, because I noticed, and I had some difficult case with one of the clients in the end of last year, and it made me also reevaluate the things and to change the future strategy too. So everything happens for the best for sure. And I came to the conclusion that everything goes from inside, from who you are, what you understand about yourself. If you are clear for new relationships, if you are doing right things to build really happy relationships and so on. So this live stream, it's also about, it's more psychological, it's more of coaching than about matchmaking and meeting new people, because everything starts with yourself. And if you feel harmonious, in balance, and just happy person, you can easily find your match, even in your city, in your country, or even in Ukraine. But as for meeting girls in Ukraine, of course, you need to know some secrets, some tactics, and if you use it, then you will be successful in meeting a local girl. Hi, Solomon. I'm glad you came today, as always. Happy to see you. Today's topic is emotional baggage and how it influences on relationships. So let's start with what it is, and let's think what we can do about it. Again, in my practice, I had cases when we had the clients, for example, ladies applying whose husband was who died some time ago, and it could be even 5-7 years ago or more. But still, it was obvious that this woman didn't overcome this sorrow after loss of her husband, of her man, and in many cases, it was an obstacle for new relationships. Again, on the conscious level, she told us that yes, I want new relationships, I want to have a new family, new happy relationships, and so on. Such girls, they could even go to the dates. But what happens next? They usually compare new dates with this husband, this perfect man who died, because when someone dies, we always consider them more perfect than it could be if they were alive. So no one can be compared with someone who died. And in these cases, these women, they wouldn't be able to overcome this. And of course, these new men were always not good enough comparing with the past one. The same happened with men too. And I had also some cases, some consultations when men started to tell about his died wife and started to cry. And it's obvious signals that the relationships are not over. Maybe this person is not alive anymore, but this man was still feeling a lot of pain, much pain about this loss, and it didn't give a chance him to move forward and to find someone new for life. Also according to some scientific research, the ones who left the emotional baggage in the past, they had much more better chances for new happy relationships than some people who didn't finish the past to the full degree. So what happens if the person is not saying goodbye, didn't say goodbye to his past? First of all, as I told you, in some practical cases, these people, they constantly compare new dates, new man or new woman with someone from the past, with ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, and so on. And when doing this, they miss some important issues in this other new person. They cannot notice some important qualities, some important traits, or they can exaggerate in their mind some disadvantages of a new date too, because they are afraid of repeat of the same situation that they had in the past with their ex. What else? If you still keep anger or sorrow or something, any strong emotion for your ex, you can't get rid of it to the fullest, and still you feel connected with this person by even this strong emotion, even if it's negative. And negativity can attract more negativity into your life, so no way, no need to do this. No need to keep these old connections that don't bring you anything good into your life. And of course, the emotions that you keep inside, that are burning inside of you, they inevitably influence, first of all, your state of mind, state of soul, your mood. And after all, if they are with you for a long time and quite strong, and you don't cure them in any way, they start to influence your health. It's not good news for sure. And of course, if you have children and they see that you have a difficult relationship with their mother or father, it's not good for kids too, for their psychological state and for their health, even for how they study in school. It influences everything. So how could you overcome these emotions? How you could get rid of the emotional baggage? First of all, there are just practical advices connected with some practical actions, because on the one hand, in different approaches of psychology, psychotherapy, you can do different things. For example, in some approaches, you can work with your emotions by talking with your counselor, with your psychotherapist, by living through these emotions again and again. And there are many different techniques this way. But you can also do some practical things, some exact actions to overcome the emotional baggage that you have from the past. And one of the ways is to get rid of all the signs, all the triggers, if possible, from your past relationships. And again, practically, it means that if you live together, it's better to delete all the things that remind you about this person. And in some cases, it's even advised to change your apartment, change your location if possible, not to have many things that connect to you with the past. So if you just don't change your apartment, at least you should get rid of some photos together, some her favorite things around the house, and so on. So to have less reminders of your past and of this woman in your life, if possible. The same is about everything, things in at your home, friends maybe. If you was having friendship with your friends before, it's better not to continue to. If you don't have very strong feelings to them, for your friends, if they didn't become too close for you, it's preferable not to communicate with your family a lot too, because it still keeps the connection between you, and so on. If you was within the same gym, it's preferable to change the gym, and so on. So our aim in all these sections, and how do I understand if you get rid of this emotional baggage, it's when you feel indifferent to this person. You don't have any either strong love for her or strong anger or strong sorrow, anything. Just calm, normal attitude, if possible, to reach it. Then the other practical advice, second advice, is to look at your past objectively and try to re-estimate things, what happened, and just understand that something didn't work out in your relationships. You know what it is, and try to get rid of being hurt and so on. It happens. People change the spouses, the boyfriends, girlfriends nowadays quite often, and it's our reality. Of course, I guess my generation and older ones, maybe even younger ones, we all dream about being married once or having one perfect relationship for all our life till the end, from the very beginning. But in fact, it doesn't happen with every person. Sometimes people get divorced and change partners several times per life. Some are lucky enough and have just one relationship, one marriage since 20 years old till the end. Really lucky people, I would say. I dreamt about it too, but again, life is different. Anyway, we all have rights to be happy. And the modern life is very changeable, and it became very fast. The speed of our life became very fast in comparison with previous generations, and it inevitably influences our relationships too. And when one person is developing quite quickly in a couple, the other one not, there is inevitably they will get apart after all. By having so much information, by developing quickly, we only want it. We also move to the change of partner sometimes, and in some stages of life, you just feel that you need to change a partner too, because you don't feel anymore happy about him or her. So we discussed two ways how to deal with emotional baggage, and the third way is to release your emotions. And how you can do it, different people choose different ways. For some people, it's easier to do this through doing some art. Some people are dance. Some people become to be more active in sport, in box, for example. Some prefer to write something. Some write poems, for example, when they want their emotions to go out, and so on. So you just choose any way that is right for you. And also there is quite a well-known technique is to write the letter to your ex and to tell about all your emotions, all your thoughts in this letter. Of course, you don't need to send it to the person, but when you do this, you get rid of all the emotions that were keeping inside of you, and you become more free of them. So it means more free for new life, for more happy life, for sure. And as for this approach, I did it in my life too when I lost an important person this last year, and really it helped me a lot. I did it every day till I felt empty of these emotions, or almost empty, or when I felt I said everything that I wanted to him, and it really helped. So you can do it just on your own without anybody. You don't need a coach or psychologist for this. You just do it yourself. And the fourth way, practical way, is try to reassign blame. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame your spouse or your ex. Just blame the situation maybe, or just understand it happens sometimes. It's okay too. So when you do this, when you did this, now you move to a new life, and you move to a new relationship. But when you have quite some experience in relationships and in life, for example, you're not 20 years already, but 40, 35, 50, you most probably have some experience with girls, women in your life, and you inevitably still do some things like you did in past relationships, or you can get afraid of some things to repeat in your relationships. I think it's impossible to get rid of experience at all. You still have a memory, and you still will have some associations sometimes. So how you can control things and to be more conscious about them in your relationship, so that you would have better chances to meet, to build happy relationships. So when you do something in your relationships, just take a minute and understand how you do this or another action towards your partner. And sometimes you can notice that you do the same that you did in your past relationships. For example, if you was late, yes, and your partner was shouting all the time at you in these situations, most probably you will expect the same in new relationships. It's like a new reaction formed in the last relationships. And at this point, you can just stop and think and understand what you feel, then think why you feel it. Then you understand it's because of your last relationships. You understand it and make a pause and try to act in a different way, get rid of this emotion of fear, for example, or this expectation, and live further without it. Just by being conscious, it's possible to control some such things. Don't expect, it's well known again fact that we shouldn't hope for someone to be able to read our minds. So it's very, very important to express your feelings, to express your thoughts, your doubts, your questions in a verbal way. So if you don't like something in your relationship, just tell about it. If you have some doubts in your relationships, for example, comparing with your past, you can just ask directly about it, and so on. And yes, sometimes it can be kind of embarrassing to discuss some things or ask something in the very beginning, but at the same time, just think that it saves your time and her time too, because if in the very beginning you understand important things about each other, if you will be quite brave enough to ask some things in the beginning, most probably you will save your time, both of you. For example, if you will be very different in some important questions, you can just stop these relationships and find someone more compatible. And it's definitely better than you do it in 1 year, for example, and you understand there are some critical differences in your opinions or in your life values, and then it will be more pain here for sure to stop relationships in 1 year than, for example, in 1 month. So being honest with you, with your partner, being able to articulate what you want to say, what you have to say, it's highly important. And just practice it. Be brave enough. And again, if you think about or doubting about something in your relationships, comparing with your old ones, just directly ask your partner and share your doubts directly, and then you can get just definite exact answer, and you know for sure how to act in these new relationships. And the last advice is just to believe in yourself. I know experience can be different, and sometimes some people, we can get into some relationships when you don't feel confident anymore in yourself. For example, when you had abusive partner, and abusive can be women too. After such relationships, you can go out, you finish them, and you go from them being very just broken and not believing in yourself and so on. But try to return to yourself, return to this confidence, to understand that you're a wonderful person, if you feel so, for sure. and that you just need to find a right partner for you. So let me read the comments. Trying to find a new partner after one has passed is very hard, as the person could still be grieving. Yeah, fully agree with you, Solomon. Yes, it's considered that we need at least 1 year to overcome the death of someone close. But I really think that it's a very individual too, and it depends on the person. I noticed people who are more slow in their temper, they need more time for this. The people who are more active, cholerics, they need less time for this. So plus the time you spent with this person is considered the type of relationships you had and so on. But of course, if it was lost of husband or wife or some spouse, and you was someone was spending together many years, and it's really difficult to overcome it, but still possible. Getting over an ex-partner can take a long time, but there are important lessons to learn from each relationships. Yes, for sure. This is experience, and sometimes it makes us to value, to appreciate our present even more in comparison with the case if we would met this right person in our 18, for example. Life is such mysterious sometimes. I agree, should never continue a relationship if you're not happy. Better you move on and find happiness elsewhere with someone new. Yeah, I agree with you. And as I told you in the very beginning, also it's important to be happy inside. First of all, consistent, happy, authentic, having good self-esteem, loving yourself and loving people around. Then there are even more chances to build happy relationships. But again, there are many opinions on what are happy relationships and what are healthy relationships. There are many couples who don't have healthy relationships, yes, but they're still together, and we don't know for sure which percentage of really happy relationships there is. It would be interesting to know, but how to identify. So, dears, I shared with you the information I wanted today. And I think that from yourself, from being open for present and future, from being able to get rid of all negative emotions that you have according towards your past, then you have all the chances to build happy relationships and to find someone compatible. And now you can ask your questions so that we could talk more about it if you are interested. If not, then we will meet next week. And next week I will have some secret guest. Soon I will share who it will be. So ask me if you want. Someone from Facebook are asking me if I'm single. No. Yes, Solomon, I see such relationships too, and I noticed I was brought up by my mother only. We were 3 children in a family and only one mother were bringing us up. And in the childhood, I was dreaming about full family. But now when I grown up, I understood probably it was the best decision of my mom to keep us happy, safe, and emotionally stable. Because when I started working as a matchmaker, now I see many women who had not so happy families, even full families, but not happy when parents were struggling or even injuring each other and so on. And now these women, even being 35, 40, they still can't build their relationships. And for example, they can be even never married because from the childhood they didn't see a happy example of family, and many years they were afraid of relationships. So I agree with you, Solomon, that sometimes it's better to stop the relationships to keep yourself safe, to keep your kids safe and happy, than to continue something very difficult. And also, I saw many full families. From the first view, they were full, happy maybe, but the kids who went from these families, they became very not successful people. I mean, some are drinking too much, some are using drugs, some became started to violate law and so on. So I came to the conclusion it's better to have not full family, but more or less healthy, than full family where children see the better example of relationships. Valentine Day is coming soon. Do you help with sending flowers and gifts? Yes, of course. We have couples who are dating, and usually, yes, they apply to us and ask to make some surprise for their date. And it's wonderful, wonderful work. I should admit, to bring happiness, to see how girls smile at these moments and so on. It's wonderful. Yes, she is very, very strong. Thank you. So dears, ask questions if you have some, or we will finish soon. Thanks, Elena. It's another great broadcast, such an interesting topic. Men don't often slow down to think about getting past their old relationships. Thank you, John, for watching me today and for your feedback, always positive. Thank you for this. And yes, I remember our talk with you when we personally met, and you also point many times that everything starts from the person, from the inside. And yeah, that's why I decided to make broadcasts on these topics, starting with ourselves, and only then we can have what we want in life. I believe in the idea that life has abundance of everything. We just need to find a balance inside, to have correct, necessary attitude to life and people around, right dreams, right goals, and then we can get anything in any area of life. And happy relationships is also here. It can be also goals for finance or family or marriage, or anything. We just need to feel happy and to set right goals, and to choose the right strategy, of course, to reach them. So thank you, dears. We will continue next week, and tomorrow I'm going to shoot some new videos for the channel. And now I'm thinking about some coaching course, coaching for singles course. I'm just inventing it now for you, but soon I will be happy to, I hope I will be happy to tell you more about it, and that I hope it will be useful for you. So I want to send flowers to a lady. Yeah, we can help you. We have partners in Kharkov too. So just email me. I remember we talked with you on my email, and I hope we can help you. Just write me. So dears, have a nice evening tonight, or day, depends on where you are. And see you soon. Thank you for coming to me. Thank you for not forgetting about me while this pause of 2 months or even more. And I'm happy you are with me again. We will continue, and I hope it will be interesting live stream for you next week. We are in touch. Stay in tune. We are together. Goodbye.